Hi, Shirosan here, and I am back today, and I thought I would just have a little talk with you guys about the JET program, but more specifically about the question and answers night that they host. So depending on your country, but I assume that all countries will do something similar, is that about a month before you go over to Japan, you are invited down to your embassy to have a little questions and information night basically. So I went to mine last week, and although it's not mandatory to go, they obviously do highly suggest that you go. It's a night where pretty much essentially you find out your travel information, so like your flights, details, all that stuff. You find out about, just specific things that you may want to know about the JET program. A lot of the time they'll have former JETs there to talk to you about their experience and all that. It's just a really good night to go to. But the most important thing is it's when you hand in all your documents to apply for your visa. So you have to take your visa application, your passport, and then obviously a photo for your visa all down with you. Essentially that's the most important part of the night, but once that's out of the way, it's just a really fun night. It's where you get to meet all the other JETs from your specific embassy that have been accepted. So you get to meet all of them before you obviously go overseas with them. You obviously find out where they're staying in comparison to where you are, and you make kind of connections that way as well. So at the Q&A, it went from 5:30 till 8:30 at night. So for me, it was a bit of a trek. I had to drive, an hour and a half, 2 hours away for it, and then drive back that. So it was a long night for me, but I definitely wanted to go because I knew it was where we would be finding out about our flight information, and I have been dying to know so I can start packing basically, or working out what I'm gonna pack. So when you get down there, they give you a couple of different things. So the first thing that you are given is this book here. So this is the General Information Handbook, and it's big, but it's only so big because on one side you've got the Japanese and then on the other side the English. So they highly recommend obviously that you read through this before going to Japan for obvious reasons. I mean, it talks about pre-departure, what to expect, once you arrive there as well. They talk about the orientation, and then obviously your insurance, taxes, all those kind of things, and they've got work, living in Japan, safety, health and JET support system, and then leaving JET. So they do recommend obviously that you read through this before going. So I have started reading through it, I haven't finished it yet, but I've been highlighting important things that I want to be able to flip to really easy in here, especially about like tax, because as an Australian we unfortunately do need to pay taxes while we're in Japan. We're not one of the lucky countries that don't have to for 2 years. Another thing that they give you is this book here. So it's Japanese for JETs. They also have a Japanese for CIRs if you're a CIR instead of an ALT, but it pretty much is just like a beginner's to Japanese. So this is really good if you have never learned Japanese before, because it's all your beginner stuff. It's like how to do self-introductions, all that fun stuff, very simple grammar that you learn to begin with. And then they've even got this little poster, and that you can hang up in your bathroom or something and start recognizing your hiragana and katakana. And then at the very back as well, they've got some CDs for the audio parts in it. Now this one, I'm probably just going to finish this while I'm here, just do a refresher. It's very beginner Japanese, like it's not until here, what's this, page 100 out of the 124 pages that it actually changes into Japanese script. So it's very basic, beginners, but good for those obviously that have never learnt Japanese. So I will just flick through this, but I'm not going to take this one to Japan. So they say on the back, like, bring this book to Japan with you, but this is too basic for me. I would like intermediate maybe. This is just too beginner that, yeah, I mean, it'll be good to revise, go over some stuff, but it's not really going to further my Japanese at all at this point. Other than that, they give you, let me just get it out here. So This sheet here is my ticket information. So obviously it has got what terminal I need to be at, when, the time not only that the flight is leaving Brisbane but then also arriving in Japan. And that, so this is really good because I wanted that information basically. And then they give you this little one here that's just saying like congratulations. And so we had a representative from the airline come in and talk to us. So she basically read through this, but it was just like little things like so like before your departure, just little things, especially for those that are going with family, like, or dependents. It has a lot of information in there. It's also got the address of the hotel that we'll be staying in when we're in Tokyo. Little things, you know, about post-arrival, all that fun stuff. But then the most important thing is this one right here, which is the baggage allowance. So that was the only thing I really cared about. And we have been given 30 kilos, which is nice. And then obviously we're allowed the 7 kilos as hand luggage. And then they also talk about when you get there, because you may have 2 or 3 suitcases with you, and there's like, at least from my consulate, there's like 20 of us that have been accepted. So that's a lot of suitcases. They pretty much just talk about how you're only allowed to take 1 suitcase and then 1 carry bag with you to Tokyo orientation. All the rest need to be sent ahead to your accommodation or to your school, whichever one is arranged, I guess. And it also talks about excess baggage fees and like what's that gonna, and what that cost is going to be. So for an extra kilo with our one, it's $35, which is ridiculous. Other than that, we are given this little form. So when you go into Japan, you're given what's called a residence card basically, and it's just like your form of ID while you're there. So this one just has some information about what should be written on it, and like to double check that these things are written on it. And again, it's got for your dependents as well, what should be written on theirs. So that pretty much was the Q&A. They then gave us like pizza and sushi, of course, and there was some drinks and we all just chit-chatted, but most of it was them talking. We had 3 JET alumni, I guess, there, and yeah, so they just shared their experience and we got to ask them questions if we had any, which was really nice too. And it was, like I mentioned, it was really good just hearing about their experiences because they were all very different and very different areas and that, so it was nice to hear. And you know, obviously they all very much so enjoyed it and had good times, so it was really yeah, it got me all pumped and ready to go basically. But yeah, so it was really good. They told us about, we have another one that we have to go to. This one is mandatory though, it's where we get our visas back and everything, but that isn't until, it's like 2 days before we're supposed to leave, or 3 days, I think it's 2 days before we leave. So we leave on a Sunday and it's like the Friday just before that, so that's kind of annoying, but I'm gonna have to do 2 trips. But yeah, what can you do? So I got my contract from my school and I found out I'll be teaching in an elementary school, which I'm a little bit unsure of. So I'm senior high trained, so it's definitely going to be hopefully an amazing learning experience, but if not, it's going to be a learning experience. And I'm actually really excited for it because when you're in elementary and junior high, you get your meals like provided at school, so I'm really excited for that like cultural side of it, to experience it. And yeah, I just think that's going to be really fun. It's going to be interesting to see as well what kind of English you actually do teach to the elementary schools. So I looked it up and my elementary school has about just under 250 students, which I think is it's a nice school. It's decent in my opinion. And yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see that. I am looking forward to it. So with that, obviously I got my terms and conditions that they want you to read over. So it just talks about like your leave, your pay, what they expect from you, all that kind of stuff, things that could pretty much get you terminated, all those kind of just nitty-gritty stuff. So they want you to obviously take that with you as well. So they send it over so you can read it before you go. But then when you actually get there, they give you your official one that you sign with them and everything. I haven't found out if I have a predecessor or anything. No one else has contacted me, and I did contact the basically the only person that they gave me information for to ask about that, if I did have a predecessor. I also found out my accommodation. So my accommodation is rather small. I have actually contacted them asking if it's possible to look into other accommodation. It's not that I don't mind that it's small, it's actually the perfect size place for me. and so I'm not really that phased whether I can or not, but it's just because I know that my family is coming to visit me and I'd love to be able to offer them to stay with me. And I still can in this place, it's just going to be really cramped and small that I just, if possible, I would, you know, rather a larger place. So I've contacted them about that. I still haven't heard anything back. So I don't know, maybe they're looking into it. They were pretty fast when I contacted them the first time. So hopefully I'll hear something back, but pretty much this is what has inspired this video. I thought it would be really fun if I add a room tour of my current room here in Australia onto the end of this, so that then I can show you when I get to Japan, depending obviously on my apartment, but if I get the one that they have pretty much told me that I'm getting now, I think it'll just be really interesting to see because the size differences are really big. But I thought it would be fun to do that. So basically, yeah, this was the end of the Q&A video. I'm going to insert my room tour at the end here. Alrighty, you guys, so this is my room. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail just because I'm mainly doing it for a size reference and for how much stuff I can fit here. So straight up, this is my door that goes into the outside. Down here I have got a little shoe rack that has some shoes and then the bags that I most frequently use. Next to that I have this glass cabinet that has all my Pokemon teddies on the top, some Burrito, Alice in Wonderland figures, my little cabbage area, and then some random figures and important things from my life. Next to that I have got my cabinet that has my TV on it. Above my TV I have got my Legend of Zelda portrait, I guess. Then I got my TV and my Switch. In this cabinet I have got some pictures and I've got my PS4 and PS2, a clock. The next level I have got art books and some other books, and then this really cool one was my portrait that got drawn for me and the Kyoto Manga Museum. And then in this one I have got my popcorn bucket from Disneyland. That top one over there, that has my PS4 stuff. This one has candles. This one here is just random electronic-y stuff that I don't need often. This one has all my Switch games and accessories and cases. This one here has, this one has my Jamie Oliver DVDs in it, and this one up here has got, I don't actually remember, it's got my mini NES and then some amiibos in there as well. Then over here I have got another one of these glass cabinets. So on top I have some plushies that hold meaning to me. So this one in the back here, me and my friend actually won in an arcade in Japan, and then just some random ones from my travels. This is my Zelda shrine, so I've got the new Link from Breath of the Wild, and then the Master Sword statue that came with Australia's Breath of the Wild limited edition, as well as this coin here is a Sheikah slate. The next one down, if I squat down, has got my Skyward Sword Link, I believe. And then in the back there's like this fabric map of Wind Waker. And then I have this really awesome Ganon statue that Nintendo sent to me. Down here I've got my amiibos, and then right down the bottom I have got my Toothless Build-A-Bear with my graduation cap on him. So moving on from my glass cabinets, this whole wall here is a cupboard, so I'll back it up. So as you can see up the top there is nothing because I can't reach, but it goes all the way across the room and they are all mirrored, so I have them all pushed to one side so I'm not in the reflection. But at the top here in this box over here I have got my PlayStation 4 box, I've got my Wii in there and just random things like that that I don't need access to that frequently. And then I have got two more Zelda statues. They are just in there because I had to make room for my new ones and I didn't really know what to do with them, so they've gone back into their packaging and they're just chilling up there. Then we go down, this one here is my fun shelf, so it's mainly Wii and blind boxes that I've opened on my channel. The next shelf down I've got my purple Mack truck that is from my stepdad, and then
my Legend of Zelda chess set that I had on order for like a year waiting for it to come in, and it finally did. In these ones here I have got my Wii U, Wii and PlayStation 2 controllers and games that I kept. In this one here I've got all my 3DS and DS games, so that's that shelf. And then the next one down I have two more of these pink boxes. On this side I have got all my puzzles, and then on this side I've got puzzles that don't fit in there and also board games. And right down the very bottom in this tub here I've got all my Pokemon cards. This one right down the bottom here holds old electronic-y stuff and random things, so there's like my Tamagotchi in there, old iPods and cameras, that kind of thing. Above it I have got my remints that are Rilakkuma, and then in the back I've got all my other remints. In this box it houses a lot of Japanese mementos, so like old diaries and that I kept when I was in Japan. And it also has all straps, badges and magnets, that kind of thing that I opened in my blind boxes that I don't know what to do with until I decide to put them on display. So that is the first half of my cupboard. In this next one, up the top there, I've got some hats and camera bags. And then this middle bit is like my vanity. So I have got necklaces hanging up over here and a beautiful Ed Sheeran poster that the work next to mine gave me. A picture of my brothers. Then I've got my makeup tower that you all have seen from my minimalist makeup tour. And then I've got my jewelry box and shoe box that I believe has candy in it, but honestly I don't even know. Yep. So some candy in there. Then this bottom part is 3 little shelves that are meant for shoes, and then 3 drawers. So my drawers obviously have all my clothes in it. Right down the bottom there I have one of those damp get rid of things. Then I've got some formal shoes from weddings in this one. In this one I have my sports clothes, like workout clothes, and this one has spare like makeup, extra like cotton swabs, you know, that kind of stuff that just chills in there until I need it. This is the final cupboard. So like I said, it's really boring. Basically up the top there I have got empty boxes from my statues and my burritos, and then I've got a whole assortment of teddies that I don't really know what to do with. Then I have got clothes. So on this side here I've got the clothes I'm taking to Japan with me, and on that side I've got all my winter clothes because it's winter at the moment in Australia. I then have the suitcase that my mum's going to bring over for me, and this box has some stuff that I want her to bring for me, so there's like spare peanut butter and Vegemite in there. I then got my snow boots that are going to go in there, and a spare bag. And then in this bottom tub I have my summer clothes that I obviously don't need access to at the moment. Then we get to my bed. So I have a queen bed and I have a headboard, and then it has these bottom drawers as well. So in the like shelving unit here, it's really cool. I've just got some pops down the bottom there. This one here has like my 3DS stuff and some cords and a little towel. This one has got some tsum tsums and then a sketchbook. On top I have got a tissue box and then a really special teddy. Her name is Emily. I then got some cords that come up here for like my 3DS and my watch, my lamp, my PS4 controller, and I'll do that on the other side. Down in these ones here, so in this one I've got videos that I want to make for YouTube. This one used to have all my blind boxes and that in, but as I have been filming, they are no longer in there. Yeah, so they used to be in there, so now this one's just empty because I've been opening them, as you will see when we go out into my study. So over on this side of the room, I've got my Snorlax beanbag, and then I have this really cute cushion that one of my bosses got me at work. Behind there I've got some bottles of vodka from Duty Free. This drawer here holds all my spare bedding and blankets, and this one has, half of it is like spare bags that I don't use that often, and then the other half is like cords, like extension cables, power boards, that kind of stuff. And up here I have got my records for my record player, and then I've also got my tablet because I like to read before I go to bed, and all my books are on there. And then over on this side, this one is like a mishmash of stuff. So I have got like my TV remote, aircon controller, 3 bottles of vodka, I swear I'm not an alcoholic, which is why I still have so many bottles. It's just when I go overseas I buy bottles, and then I have this one here as a lighter, and then my Zelda Breath of the Wild is the collector's edition game guide. Then I've got some Japanese manga and my Polaroids, as well as a candle right there. That's a candle. And then right down the bottom just keep my rubbish bin, and it's really good because I can like kick it under and now you can't see it. So over on this side of the room I have got some Zelda posters, and then I've got a canvas from my mum's wedding. Here I have my record player, and then a, what is that? I was about to say an incense burner, an oil burner. It's an electric one. And then I have this speaker on top. Sometimes I'll put the speaker behind if I don't want it showing, but generally I'm too lazy and just leave it on top there. And then I have this shelf. So right down the bottom here I've got all my Zelda game guides and the books that they've released, as well as a NES one. And then over here I have got the deluxe edition of the Breath of the Wild one. It doesn't fit, so it just chills on the side. I have then got some One Piece art books, and then the My Neighbor Totoro 25th anniversary, I think it was 25th. Let's have a look. Yeah, 25th anniversary. So it's got like the movie and the art book in it, and then I've got all my Jamie Oliver cookbooks. Up in this bit I have got more Legend of Zelda game guides. So this one came in a box set, and then these are all the ones basically that were released afterwards. And then if we slide this one across, over on this side I just have some Blu-ray DVDs and DVDs of some of my favorite movies, like How to Train Your Dragon, the Pokemon movie, Book of Life, Rise of the Guardians. This box here is a Miyazaki, like his complete works, so there are all the Blu-ray discs. So like My Neighbor Totoro and all that are in here. So that is my room tour. However, if we go out here, so I live in what is called a shouse. So it is a shed that we have built a house into. So upstairs, this whole area here is also mine. I'll just back it up and give you guys a quick little overview. So this is my study area. So as you all know, I'm only doing this tour basically to show you guys the size difference that we're all about to witness when I get to Japan. So I'm pretty certain I can say with confidence that the room that I am currently in, my whole apartment probably isn't even going to be this size. So that was the main reason why I decided to film this, was I just wanted to do it as a comparison for you guys as to what I'm used to versus what I'm going to get, and how I'm going to save on space ideas. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and this little tour of my work area and my room. And you don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, especially if you want to see the part 2 to this one, which will be my Japanese apartment tour. Leave a comment down below letting me know. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!